Watch this.
I'm amazed of how many people from the Black community are telling me to go back to Mexico, telling Mexicans to go back to Mexico because we're illegal and it's a crime. It was also a crime when your ancestors went to Mexico, when they were escaping the white people and Mexico helped them. A lot of Mexicans got killed for that. They helped them. They help your people. We didn't oppress you guys. And this is how you guys pay us. In the past, Black people needed Mexicans. Right now, Mexicans need you guys. And in the future, you never know because things change. Sometimes, maybe the white people are going to need us. Maybe the Black people are going to need us. You don't know because God give us things, give us blessings, but he can take them away so fast. So you need to be humble. You need to be humble.
I don't know why every other race, nationality get up on their soapbox attempting to humble Black people. Black people are telling you to go back to Mexico. Sounds like trolls in your comments to me. Yeah. Whatever Black person is telling her that, yeah. When we have to deal with go back to Africa, yeah. Real Black people, we don't do that shit. Never know when Black people are going to need Mexicans. We needed y'all on November 5th. And November 5th, the Latino community, the Hispanic community, overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Just hope that you're doing fine wherever you are today. Now, Black people in the United States and Latinos have had a history, both good and bad. They have lived almost in the same neighborhood. At times they share the same sentiments, they share the same problems, they share the same challenges because of the places that they live, and it's totally understandable. Now, just recently, 2 months ago, people voted for whoever they voted for, and the results came out. But now, the reality is, and the most affected people are the Latinos, because you know what's happening. But again, there's this woman. Actually, I don't like talking about, Latinos and Blacks, about what they do to each other. But this one caught my attention. There's this woman who told Black people to humble themselves. Right. Black people, you need to humble yourselves, and they need Black people's help. And, I want you to watch this video because it really, it is really revealing about how sometimes somebody, fucks up and they want a person to fix it. It's like a baby. You're being warned not to do something. But again, you go against the person who told you, and then the consequences comes back to you. Again, the same person, you go to seek help to them. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this woman and, a group of Latinos who also think the same way. Because Black people are done showing or giving flowers to people who doesn't care about them, to people who doesn't listen to them because they think that they're lying, they think that they are unaccountable, they think that they're lazy. But now the truth is hitting everybody. And it's like, you Black people, you need to humble yourselves. But I don't see if Black people are so much cocky to the extent of telling a person to go back to Mexico. I don't know if there are a couple of Black people who do that, because history has it that Black people don't do that. But I understand we have different race of people. But again, the reality is still the same. I want us to watch this video. I'll be back and then we'll have a discussion about it.
See this right here? These are the statistics of voters and how they voted in the 2024 election. 55% of Latino men voted for Donald Trump. That's the red. 38% of Latino women voted for Donald Trump. This is when we needed you. This is when the Black people, the Black community needed you. This is when we all needed to come together. And y'all said, fuck you, Black people. We're going to vote for the man that has repeatedly said that there will be mass deportations if he gets into office, and they will be bloody. Y'all overwhelmingly voted for this. 77 to 80% of black men voted for Kamala Harris. 91, 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Black people overwhelmingly voted for the protection of Latina and Latinos. And all of you Latinas and Latinos that's making videos coming at black people with all of this smoke, I don't understand it. We did what we were supposed to do. We did what we were supposed to do when it counted. Yet, you don't have no smoke for the 55% and the 38% of Latina and Latino men and women who voted against you. Why is that? Why is it that you've got more smoke for the black community that voted in your best interest than you do for the people in your community that voted to have you deported? I'd like to know that. Comment down below.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the word that he promised us Latinos. This is crazy that starting next week, multiple cities will be hitting immigration. That is so crazy that multiple people are scared to go to work. When I work at, a lot of Latinos did not go to work. And that's crazy because we have a living too. I hate that I voted for him. Now I'm so scared for my family and your family. Y'all, we need to come together and do something.
She followed up with this picture post of her looking distraught. And she puts up at the top, when my grandma woke me up, she said, just in case if ICE takes me, make sure you don't go down the wrong path and make sure you keep family together. And my grandpa texted me saying, if ICE shows up at my work, take care of your family and don't go the path I took, mija. Los amo a todos. Los amos a todos means I love you all. I know she wasn't talking to the black community when she said that we have to unite. She's talking to the Hispanic community because they do need to unite. Black people tried to tell them before the election. So I know they can't be talking. She can't be talking to black people. This is what we mean when we say that you vote against your own interests. I don't know what it is that you heard that made you think voting for Donald Trump was going to make you safe, because what I heard all throughout the campaign season, I heard Donald Trump repeatedly saying that there will be mass deportations and they will be bloody. And then towards the end of the campaign season, he and Stephen Miller kicked it up a notch and said that the mass deportations would include overturning birthright citizenship. And then they told you that they would get rid of the entire family. They were going after DACA recipients. They told you this before you went into the voting booth to vote against your interest and your family's interest. When you went into the voting booth and voted for Donald Trump, you voted for him to deport your family. These are the consequences of your actions.
That he promised us Latinos.
And the word that he promised was that he was going to deport you. The coming together to do something about this is called voting. And that happened a couple of months ago on November 5th. And you still decided to walk your Latina ass up in that voting booth and vote for a man that repeatedly told you that he was coming for you to deport you. And at this point, more than anything, I want you to get exactly what you voted for. I want you to feel the powerful consequences of your vote. If they do take your grandma and your grandpa, I want you to know that you did that to them. They got taken away because of you. And for the rest of us as a community, we can never let MAGA voters like her forget how damaging their vote was. We need to constantly remind them. Never let them forget. As far as us getting together to do something about it, I will never in my life trust a Latino for Trump. You're a danger to yourself, you're a danger to your family, and you're a danger to your community. And I want nothing to do with you, and I don't feel sorry for you.
Y'all, we need to come together and do something.
No, we don't. Because remember we had told y'all that it was going to happen. Remember we were telling y'all that they didn't want y'all here, and we did? Remember we were telling y'all that voting for Harris wasn't going to really be in our best interest or protect them? Remember we had told you that it wasn't a selfish decision, but voting for Harris or Biden would have been ensuring that all communities were safer? Remember we had told you? Because we were trying to come together. Remember, we was trying to come together, right? And then y'all said, no, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all, little darks. Remember that? You remember that? Surely I wish it hadn't come to this, but I'm finding it hard to find a lick of sympathy for people who disrespected the fuck out of us because we were trying to say, hey, don't let leopards eat your face. But here you go. Okay. Come together my ass.
As a Latino, I've never been more embarrassed and more disappointed in the Latin community for even voting or thinking of voting for Trump. Voting against your own self-interest is counterproductive. It's insane to me. Like, y'all don't make no sense. What's not clicking? And let's be very serious. Latinos voted for Trump because they want to be as close to whiteness as possible. It's because they're anti-Black. It's because of the internalized racism. It's because of the not even internalized, it's for the outward racism. That's really mainly what it was. And let's not forget the misogyny of it all. Let's not forget that, because one thing a Latina woman is gonna do is gonna put her man, her son, and any male figure in the Latin community up on a pedestal with ease. And that's exactly what the Latino men thrive on. The women always putting them up on a pedestal. And that's really the sad part about it, because there is no reason why they should have been voting for Trump at all. I'm disappointed today, and I'm just so disappointed.
With Trump rhetoric of the southern border of migrants, why would the Latino population support him in such a way?
Well, think about it like this. Maybe you and I always identify as a Latina, and when I do that, I always think about the fact that my parents are Cuban exiles and Mexican immigrants, right? But there is a sector of Latinos that don't want to see themselves in that way, do not want to see themselves lumped with other immigrants. So even if we think about how the Latino community has changed in the last 20, 30 years, we're talking about a community now that is a lot more Americanized and assimilated. Most of the Latino voting bloc is under the age of 50, U.S. born. Hablamos en inglés, no en español. And so that
I understood that.
I was testing you. But all this to say that...
I don't know how to respond, but I understood.
¿Quieres seguir en español? ¿Hablamos?
Yo hablo muy malo español.
Anyways, long story short, I think what Trumpism does really well is when they think about that Latino voting bloc, they're betting on this one idea. And that is the fact that there are some Latinos that are so Americanized and assimilated now that they too will sort of buy into the nativism. That they too will really look at hear the words, send them back, and not at all see themselves reflected in that them.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I think from all these videos, the lamentation that Latinos are having towards Black people, and they're seeing them like their only hope or like their last hope. And it makes sense because Black people have been loyal to history as it. right? From the civil rights movements, affirmative action, education, and all those other benefits that come with the activism, with the voices of black people. But at the same time, the same people are trying to warn you about some things that you're trying to do, but you're not understanding what they're trying to warn you. Sometimes they're trying to warn you not to get into some factors that are gonna affect your life, because there are a couple of mass deportation that are happening to Latinos, and this is something that you know, right? But look at now, you're crying, and I'm sorry, it is not my happiness to see you cry or something. But again, I see folks who looks like me in the United States told you, warned you all not to do a couple of things, but you went ahead and did them. Sometimes people don't take black people seriously until there are repercussions of their actions. Something had to happen to show you that sometimes it's always good to listen. And just like a baby, when a baby cries for a razor blade, you give them so that they get cut. That next time when you tell them not to touch fire, they won't touch fire, because they remember the repercussions that it comes with not listening to a person who is telling you something. I think that that's important, and I think that that's one of the hardest lessons that hit really hard to the Hispanic groups who are in the United States. All in all, at the end of the day, we are not happy. Like, black people are not happy seeing you crying. But at the end of the day, it's written on the wall, it's written in capital letters, like, we warned you all, but you didn't listen. And even the first presenter, the first lady that shared at the presenter, she talked and she tried to show the statistics, how people voted. And you could see, and I don't know, I mean, I don't know if it's true, like Latinos were lied to or something, but majority of them are really, really regretting the decision that they made. I don't want you to be part of that, part of the decision that you made for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's time black folks also, we learn to give back, fill our cups, because the people that sometimes are trying to fight for are the people who are trying to pull us back. Because now look, they've pulled the tail together with a group of people that had good intentions for all these people. But right now, after pulling the tail, they don't care the consequences. But now again, they can't go to cry to the white folks, because also white folks are crying because they really messed up to also themselves, right? They're also crying because of the messing up situation that they made. But at the same time, these people were warned. All of them were warned just before the election, and they were told everything, right? And when I'm trying to say this, is not like I'm against Trump or something, or like I like Kamala Harris or somebody else. But at the end of the day, the question that puts at place is the advice. The subject matter here is the advice, right? It's not even about the candidate, but the advice. Somebody tells you, don't follow route A, you'll be bitten by a snake. Then you decide to follow route A, and then you came to cry for help for the person that warned you, and told you that you don't need to follow the road, but you went ahead. You thought that you know everything. You thought that you got it all. You thought that you didn't need black people. But now, it's happening to you. And now it's dawning to you that things are never going to be the same. Whoa, we are going to be deported. What are we going to do? What about our families? What about the people that we've grown like 40 years in the United States? What about them? I'm going to start a new life. Like, what am I going to do? And all those meltdowns that you're seeing. But these could have been helped. These could have been stopped if you guys made the right decision. And I think it's indicative of a couple of things that usually happen. Disunity or disloyal amongst people who share common agenda, like Latinos and black people. Really, you people have the same sentiments, and history knows this. There is a relation between Hispanics and black people. There is a correlation. There's a history tying black people with Hispanics. So this totally means that we share the same struggles. But some people still don't listen. Some people still find a way of getting out and making their own decision, later on coming out, regretting the decision that they made. And it doesn't just turn right with what they thought or what they believe. And now they become the prodigal son, the prodigal daughters. Now they're coming back. While they're coming back, it's messed up for black people. It's messed up for a couple of white people also. And it's messed up for you. And this thing is happening to everyone. Right? People have a history of not taking black people seriously. People have a history of not taking black people seriously. I don't know why. I don't know how it happens, but it just happens. So with that being said, it comes to my attention that we need to find a way of sometimes also with black people keeping quiet. Once we have told you and you don't hear us, and you know that that's what's gonna happen, right? So these are presented Jintook Stories. I want you to tell me how you feel, what you think about this video. It really, as I said earlier, the video is so revealing, and it reveals a couple of things that are important that I feel like we need to talk about, right? So tell me what you think about this video. As usually, these are presented Jintook Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.